likelihood is like probability of an incident happening. Okay, so if an attacker uses a vulnerability, a threat actor uses a vulnerability to exploit some weakness, and the probability of that happening, that is the likelihood of an incident. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's start on cloud security. So just someone unmute yourself and tell me what cloud really is.
It is like a virtual platform where resources means like computing resources are available virtually. Like
Or
we can
good, very good example. Anyone else? Very good definition.
So cloud is a platform as a service.
You are not clear, Sajid. Hello, Kuldeep. You?
Hello.
Yeah.
The cloud computing is as a platform as a service in which a virtual data center is on there to store the information.
Okay. So one misconception about cloud that everyone has is it's a data center it's a virtual data center. So that used to be true up till 2010. Okay. Cloud was only about storing data. But now is like cloud is everything. Like you just you can with one simple computer, one normal computer, one I like one i5 computer which you have, you can access and you can use or and you can process data which is like far beyond the capabilities of your computer. How is that happening? Happens via SaaS applications, and if you have PaaS services, or if you have IaaS, you are using IaaS services. Okay, so all those has been made possible by cloud computing. So cloud computing is nothing but collection of resources, virtual resources, which you can access via your web browser. So suppose you want to you want to nowadays what is happening is no one is setting up their infrastructure. All these new companies, no, they want to have they want to build a company, but they don't want to build their data center. They don't want to have their network. They don't want to have a security framework or a storage or servers. They don't want to do anything. Like they don't want that upfront cost to be there. So what they do, they go to AWS or Azure or on Google or Oracle, and they'll be like, hey, I want this many servers, I want this database, I want a network. And these companies, the AWS and all, they'll have a this thing, they'll design a entire solution for them, which this company, the new company, can use from end to end. Like this, they provide end to end services. You can have like, you can imagine whatever IT services you have in mind, and that will be on cloud, that is provided by AWS or GCP or anything. Okay, let's say right from writing codes, it is possible via AWS and all this. Okay, to hosting something, to this thing, to storing data, to doing queries, to streaming media, to doing complex processes, to uh, running some SaaS apps. Everything is possible through cloud. Okay, it's really interesting. Very good innovation which has happened in the last decade, and it's actually and it's taking the computing world to a whole new level, and it will grow further. We have just explored, I think, 10 to 15% of what it actually is capable of doing. Cloud content technologies of cloud computing. Okay, so cloud computing is nothing but it's a virtual, like Rohit said, it's like group of virtual resources. Okay, which we can use, which can be used on demand. Okay, so that is cloud. Okay, and then we talk about what are the three type of cloud platforms. Anyone?
Uh, what, Rahul? What you asked?
What are the three type of cloud platforms?
Public
What are
cloud,
the services? Three type of services
private,
in cloud.
and hybrid.
Oh, can you come again?
Public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud.
That's yeah, that type of cloud. Okay. So yeah, let me define that too. Public cloud is nothing but AWS is a public cloud. So multiple companies share the resources. Private cloud is a company has like they have a network, but their data center is hosted somewhere like else. Okay, that's the private cloud. They have a private network, private virtual resources for themselves only. It's only for them and no one else. So that's private cloud. Hybrid is a mixture of private and public. So companies like big banks and all, they'll have a mixture. They will have hybrid cloud for some very important applications and data. They'll have a private cloud. Utilize private cloud. However, for not so critical systems, they'll use public clouds because it will cost them less. Okay, that's the type of cloud. What are the services which can be offered in cloud? It's
Hosting.
no, that is different. Sorry, SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. Okay,
Yeah, software as a
software as a
service
service,
platform.
infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service. Okay,
Right.
now let me show you that with a diagram. I'm talk. I with this I am also trying to cover uh, many things in cloud computing, which will be very helpful for you in exams. Okay. Okay. So you see here. Okay, and this is a on-prem data center. What is a on-prem data center? Where all the servers and database and applications are on your premise. Okay, it's within your data center. It's like uh, everything is connected in your own network. So that's on-prem. You manage everything: application, data, runtime, middleware, OS. Everything is managed by you. Okay. Now let's see that the let's talk about infrastructure as service, IaaS. Okay, so instead of managing everything, okay, you'll just manage your applications, data, runtime, middleware, and OS. Okay, right from OS, the operating system. uh, Screen did not share, really sorry. Okay, now it's there, right? Okay, so this is the diagram which I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, so there is like three types of cloud service, and the fourth one, the on-prem one, is just for reference. Okay, yeah. So yes, on-prem services are where you manage all your IT infrastructure, right from application to networking, storage, servers, or virtualization, OS, everything you are managing. Okay. Now then, there are three type of cloud services: infrastructure as service, where like you will manage your operating system, you will manage your data, you will manage your application. However, server, storage, networking capabilities will be provided by the cloud. Okay, so let's say take example of AWS. AWS has this service where it provides EC2 instance. Okay, so EC2 it's like compute service. Okay, where it will provide you the computational power, everything, CPU and storage, everything like server capabilities will be provided by that, and you will just manage your application data, everything, whatever you are running on the EC2 instance. Okay, EC2 is Elastic Cloud Compute. Okay, that is provided by AWS. So these four things will be managed by the cloud provider. Rest five things will be managed by you. That's infrastructure as service. They are, you see here, they are providing the infrastructure part, the storage, the network, the servers, all those. Okay, and you will be managing your this thing. Now let's come to platform as a service. Okay, here it takes it to another level. Okay, yeah, when you are using platform as a service, you will be getting all this service up till runtime on the Google on the cloud providers from the cloud provider only. Okay, you just need to run your application. They'll give you a let's take example of Docker or anything. Okay, or there are many actually, VMware or all this. Okay, those are platforms which they provide platform as a service. You just need to run your application there. Okay, that's platform as a service. AWS example of this will be AWS provides, which service is that? I'm forgetting the name. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, but that's platform as a service. Software as a service is everything is managed on the cloud, right from application to the networking. All the services, you just need to run your application. You just need to write your code on the cloud provider side, and once you have put that there, application, everything will be end-to-end networking to storage. Everything will be run on the cloud only. That's software as a service, SaaS. Okay, platform is they'll provide you the platform. You need to run your application on the platform. Infrastructure is they just provide the infrastructure. You will need to run your OS and application, everything. Okay, example of SaaS service, anyone? Want some example of SaaS services?
VMware, sir.
No, VMware is PaaS, not SaaS. Okay, let's take example of this thing. See here, all these are SaaS-based services. Okay, right from Slack to your Jira, Adobe Cloud, Salesforce, Zoom, Google Workspace, DocuSign, LastPass, Proofpoint, all these are SaaS services. Dropbox, Amazon Web Services, AWS. Okay, so here everything is hosted on the internet. Everything is on the cloud. You just need to log in and start doing your work. That's cloud service. Okay, that's and it's like nowadays it has made everyone's job very easy using like software as a service. They just what these companies are doing nowadays is uh, like previously everyone used to install things on their computer using CDs or USBs, and then they used to run those software to do things. Nowadays everything is via web browser. Okay, let's suppose you want to make flowcharts. Okay, chart. So you see this software here, Lucid. Okay, earlier if you wanted to do this thing, if you wanted to install Lucid, you will have to get a CD from Lucid or download their tool and then use it, right? Now you don't have to do anything. You just need to open lucid.com on the web browser. Okay, click on make a flowchart. Okay, I'll continue with free. Okay, let me like, okay, whatever. So what is happening here is, okay, like all these things when we sign in, okay, you will see that you are able to create flowcharts on the browser itself. It will store the flowchart there itself. All the processing and everything is happening through the web browser only. So what is that? That's a SaaS application. All the processes are running on the cloud. All the everything is running on some virtual computer somewhere. It's not like it's installed on some virtual computer somewhere. You're just running it from your browser. You're just taking the APIs and you're using it here. So that's a SaaS platform. It's very interesting. Every application is moving to SaaS nowadays, right from Jira to Office 365 on the cloud. Everything is going SaaS based. That's why it's really important. Okay. So remember this IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Okay. So once we have spoken about these things, we talk about the major cloud service providers. So the major cloud service providers, as you know, right now is AWS, which controls 70 to 80% of the market. Then it comes the Google GCP cloud, Google platform, then Azure, then Oracle, then there are others as well, but they are not that this thing. Okay, but yeah, these are the major providers of cloud platform. Let's see in brief what AWS is. Okay, we'll cover some on Azure as well, but AWS is the major one. So AWS is a cloud service provided by Amazon. Okay, and mm, like they have taken the market by storm. They have phased out, like the concept of data center has become obsolete because of them. No one uses data center anymore to just store data. Okay, everyone is moving everything to cloud because it has made to AWS or anything, because it has made their jobs so easy, simple. All right, so AWS uh, is cloud services provided by Amazon. All right, let's see what are the services that they have. There are, I don't know how many services they offer, but we'll see. If you see here, okay, these are the featured analytics. They have so many services. Application, they have so many. Blockchain, they have so many. They have, like, for each of the product, each of the IT functions, there are so many products. See, IoT के लिए they have so many products. Machine learning के लिए they have so many products. And the best thing is it's all available on the cloud. It is all there to make your job very simple. Okay, it's like it will simplify your processes. Like if you want to build a startup, you don't need to like get servers, and you don't need to get a network. It will, or you just need to put your code in AWS, buy their service, get a code, put the code in AWS. They'll manage your servers and the workload for you. You don't need to do anything. Just sit there and just manage the this thing, your AWS account, and it will take care of all the aspect of your computing requirements. You don't need to do anything. So that it solves a major problem which people used to face, like hosting a web application, then efficiency of the servers which they're hosting on, then server runtime and all database storage and all the security challenges. Everything is taken care by AWS. Okay, so also if you see, there are storage services, VRAR services, serverless security you see in here. These are the many security services provided by AWS also. You see, there are so many of them. These many services are there. So in total, I think AWS has around 1,600 products. Okay, and they have added these many products within a span of how many? I think 10 years, even less than that. So they have grown 300% year on year because of the type of service which they are providing. It's really amazing what AWS can do. Okay, and you just like you will be surprised to like see how easy it becomes using AWS to host your website, to like or to share. It's so simple. You just go put your code there, 10-line code. Okay, you'll get a link from AWS. Share that link, and it's live. You can you can integrate payment methods using this only. Everything will be taken care of AWS. All this DDoS protection, IDS, IPS, all that services can be provided by AWS. Okay, so that's like really amazing thing. All right, now once we have like let's look at some stats. Okay, so there are more than 200 services, it is saying. Okay, and okay, the major services which they have is computing EC2, storage, the S3 bucket, and all those the database services like RDS and all. Okay, the networking services like I keep forgetting the name. Networking, I don't remember. Analytics, like they have analytics services. They have application services. Everything is there. So it's like huge. Uh, People who want to take up cloud security practitioner from AWS. I have good study material I can share with you guys. Yeah. So yeah, AWS is a really good to have knowledge. Okay, but we won't deviate from the topics which we need to cover. But this is like the basic which we wanted to see what AWS is. Okay. Now, why is security in cloud important? Can someone tell me?
Because if means many organizations store their data on cloud, and which is highly sensitive and confidential, so there should be some security protocols or measures to be implemented to secure that data, so that no one can no other uh, person or some intruder can uh, means see that data or steal that.
Correct. So I'll put it in a better word. Okay. So okay. If I'm running a company, okay, how do I trust a third party, some random company like Amazon to with my data? How do I make sure that whatever data I am giving to them, whatever data they are hosting, is secure, right? Like I am trusting AWS with my data, correct? So I need to make sure that whatever data is going to AWS, whatever data is going, because AWS is a public cloud, okay, and they do not store each company's data separately in different physical servers. It's all logical segregation, okay. So if a hacker gets into any one of the this thing, or any one of the data centers, or any one of the the storage systems that they have, they will be able to penetrate into data of multiple companies, not only one. Because the way it works in AWS is like uh, they provide logical segregation to each client separately. They do not provide physical segregation of data. Okay, so in logical segregation, one server or one magnetic tape can have data from multiple companies, depends on the availability and the size and the load and everything. Okay, so with these challenges, okay, so these are challenges, right, for a company. They are like these companies will be like, oh, first of all, I'm giving my data to them. They are not even storing the data separately. They are, and it's a public platform. They'll be hosting it with some other company's data. What if the other company sees my data? What if some threat actor, some other person sees the data? Some attacker hacks into AWS and sees my data. Okay, so these are the challenges which forced companies to come up with cloud security frameworks. Okay, they have started focusing. They have given much importance to cloud security because they are trusting someone with their data. That's why security of the cloud and security in the cloud becomes really necessary. Okay, so one interesting thing is, like, whatever domains we have covered earlier, it's all valid for cloud as well. Okay, so what is happening is, what is cloud? So it's like a group of resources which are not in your control, which are somewhere else. Okay, these are virtual resources. However, virtual resources also need to be secured, right? They can also be attacked by some attacker. They also need to have IDS. They also need to have all the security controls and IAM, access management controls, which you have put in place in your own systems. So that is like you have the same set of controls and everything which you have for your normal systems, but the implementation part differs. Okay, so you need to make sure that they are DDoS protected. You need to make sure that all these things are there. DMZ is there. Everything is there. Okay, like we do for the normal computers. However, the implementation part of cloud security differs. That's it. Okay. So now the very interesting question arises: whose responsibility is it to secure the cloud? So if you are like storing data in AWS, Is it completely responsibility of Amazon to take care of your data, or there is some responsibility with you as well? Anyone?
You
Our
as well. It's
responsibility.
like both both are responsible to secure the data in cloud.
How?
Like in suppose like AWS is there to maintain its security, but we should also preserve the integrity and confidentiality of the credentials or the uh, resources whichever are there in the cloud of our company as well.
Partly correct. Anyone else?
We also monitor what are the moves taken by the AWS also.
Mm, okay, so not exactly, but yeah. Let me share. Cloud security is a shared responsibility. Okay, always like remember these two terms. Okay, security of the cloud is the responsibility of the service provider. Okay, security in the cloud is responsibility of like you. It's your responsibility. It's a responsibility of the company using its services. So just two terms and you will sail through it. Cloud security of the cloud is responsibility of the service provider. Security in the cloud is the responsibility of the company. So let's discuss this term. What is security of the cloud? So the data centers and the co-locations and the availability zones and regions which are being used to provide services to you, okay, which are being used to provide cloud computing services to clients. Those are that you have to secure those two, right? So data centers which are being used to provide these services, they need to be secured, correct? So that becomes the responsibility of uh, this cloud service providers, like services like physical security of the data centers, protecting the data centers against all these threats. That is the responsibility of the cloud provider. Okay, in our case, AWS or anything else. Okay, so that becomes their responsibility. However, they'll be like Google, Amazon will be like, see, we have as IAS pass, we have IDS, IPS, we have DDoS Shield, we have Inspector, we have everything is there. But to configure those things in the cloud is your responsibility. They won't tell you how to implement the security. They have these features. You just need to go and enable or implement them. Okay, it's your responsibility. It's not their responsibility. Monitoring and logging the cloud platform, whatever action is happening, whatever who has access to the cloud, everything is your responsibility. It's not AWS's responsibility. They won't take care of that. Okay, they'll be like, you have given access to this and these people. It's your responsibility. It's not my job to take care of things which are happening in your cloud environment. Okay, so that does it explain? That is, does it make sense? Okay, if it doesn't, let me take an example of a diagram. Yeah, it won't be solved in this thing. Okay. Okay. So this definition might be helpful here. Just a second, not this one. Okay. All right. So you see the thing which is written here. actually by the year 2019, 90% of the companies were on the cloud. Everyone is using cloud in one or the other way. Okay, so that's how important cloud has become. So to face any interview, to get any IT job, I think having the knowledge on cloud is really important nowadays. Well, one more stats. Gartner is a peer review company. Okay, everyone, I think you'll be seeing this everywhere when you read about companies. So Gartner has estimated that by 2025, 99% of the cloud security failures will be the customer's fault. It won't be fault of the cloud service provider. However, it is a shared responsibility model, but AWS will be right on their part 100% of the time. But and you, due to your failure, due to something which you did not configure properly, there might be some security issues. Okay, so 99% of the times it will be your failure which will lead to security issues in your cloud environment. Okay, so security of the cloud is securing the cloud itself. Okay, so there is a cloud environment refers to the safety of the cloud itself for running applications, storing data, and processing interaction. So all the data centers and services which are being provided by AWS needs to make sure that those services are secured. That is security of the cloud. It needs to make sure that their data centers are protected, and their services which they provide are secure, and they do not have any weaknesses. All those. Okay, security in the cloud is, so whatever data you are storing, like whichever service you are using, you need to have it configured properly. All the security parameters of that uh, application needs to be configured properly. Like suppose S3 bucket, okay, in AWS, S3 is storage bucket, okay. So you have hosted a S3, you have put some application in S3 bucket, but you forgot to make it private, okay. So whoever has that link can actually go ahead and see your data, okay, because you did not make the bucket private, just because of that. Okay, so or you did not enable all this AWS inspector or shield or everything. People can do DDoS attacks on your AWS environment, on your SaaS applications. Okay, that's security in the cloud. So I think this is a good article. I can share this with you here. Okay. Where can I write something? Oh, hmm. Okay. So moving on. Okay, so in the slide, the ENT slides which we had shared, you have these things, everything is there. Okay, so cloud security is a responsibility that is shared between the cloud provider and the customer. That's the reality, and this model has been introduced by Google, this AWS only. Before AWS, there were players like this thing, Rackspace, and all those were there, but they have become obsolete with the introduction or onset of all this modern era cloud providers like AWS and all. Well, see, so there are three categories of responsibility in the shared responsibility model. Responsibilities that are always the providers, like only AWS will take care of it. Responsibilities that always are with the customers, and responsibilities that vary depending on the service model, like they can be some both of them's responsibility. Okay. What is a cloud service provider? Cloud service provider is nothing but like the companies which provide cloud service like AWS and Google and GCP, Azure, and Oracle infrastructure, OCI. Okay, so they are called as cloud service providers and cloud security provider. Okay, the cloud security responsibility that are always with the providers are the safeguarding of the infrastructure itself, like the data centers which will be used to provide cloud services. The safeguarding of those infrastructure will be the responsibility of the cloud service provider. Access to patching and configuration of the physical hosts. Okay, that will also be responsibility of the cloud service provider. The patching, configuration of the physical systems, everything will be their responsibility. The physical network on which the computer instances run, and the storage and other resources reside. So all those, the data center may, whatever the network devices are there, securing them and maintaining them and everything is responsibility of the cloud service provider. Responsibilities of a customer: managing users and their access privilege in the you have, suppose you have a AWS account, you need to make sure that you provide access to the right people. Not everyone should have access. Only people, some people should have right to get into the root account or the admin account, all those things. Okay, so managing that is solely responsibility of the company which is using the service. And safeguarding of cloud account from unauthorized access. Basically, the same thing. Like the access should be granted properly. Encryption is also a responsibility. Encryption and protection of cloud-based data. So, interesting point here. Okay, AWS and all these services, they provide encryption. However, it's your responsibility to enable these features. Okay, like you want to store data in S3 buckets in AWS. However, AWS by default won't encrypt it for you. Okay, you'll have to go and select encrypt the data. So then it will provide encryption services. So that's your responsibility, that you want it encrypted or not. So you should make sure that encryption and all everything is taken care of. Okay, and managing its security, compliance, and everything, all are customer responsibility only in the secure. Okay. So after we discussed on the responsibility of customers and responsibility of service provider, these are the major challenges of cloud security. Okay. Now, yeah, the first one is the cloud. Public cloud does not have clear perimeters. It presents a fundamentally different security reality. That's like, I think, self-explanatory. Okay, there is no hard and fast defined perimeter like what we have within a company. Okay, so anyone and everyone, it's a public network. The world can see it. Okay, so that's a very big challenge. Like, since it's public, you need to, like, there is no hard and fast network boundary. So that's like actually presents a really huge challenge for everyone. Okay, and then the CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous development. People who are like companies have been using mainframes and all those old technologies, okay, since ages. Now, like adapting to new methods such as automated integration, distribution with cloud becomes a little more difficult, because you have been like, you have to migrate everything from mainframes to new systems, and all those things, like, this becomes a challenge. And because of that, you might end up leaving some vulnerability in your systems. Okay. One more is increased attack surface. Attack surface is nothing but the areas and the angles, the vectors which you can use to get into a system. Okay, so because it's a public network, it's a public environment, the attack surface becomes immense. Like, the attackers can use many things to get into your network, because it's not a control network, right? It's not your company's network that like you have so many controls. You have only a certain 2 or 3 entry points. Here in AWS, there are multiple and like thousands and thousands of entry points for application. AWS APIs are there integrated with, like, uh, I don't know how many SaaS applications, maybe thousands and thousands. Okay, so these APIs, AWS APIs, are integrated with their application. What if the application which you have designed is not secure? So using the application, people can get into your AWS accounts and they can hack AWS from there, right? So that's a risk. So risk of increased attack surface. Okay, malware, zero-day account takeover, all those are possible. So luckily, AWS has not suffered any major breaches till date. Okay, but the day it suffers, we cannot imagine the consequences. It will be worse than the World Trade Center attack. I would say, like, it will be catastrophic. The significance of that will be huge, because it will lead to data breach of, I don't know how many companies, 90% of the companies in the world, and it will lead to economic loss for so many companies. So yeah, that's why it becomes like really important that it's secured, right? One more thing is lack of visibility and tracking. Okay, you don't know where your data is going. Okay, just a second. Yeah. So you know that you are storing the data in the cloud, but do you actually know where the data is stored? No, right? So what if you are in India, you are government employee in India, you are using the cloud service. What if the cloud service, the data centers are hosted in China, right? So these data centers, the Chinese government might intercept the traffic which is coming, right? So you're not sure where the data is going. You have lack of visibility is there, everything, and tracking. You're not sure which data center it is going to, where the data is being stored, what is happening to your data. Is if anyone is seeing your data, how do you make sure that your data is confidential, right? That's the challenge as well. This one, yeah, ever changing workloads is very common. Like cloud, since cloud is like it's increasing by the day, and being decommissioned by the night. Okay, so since it's exponentially growing, new technologies are coming, old technologies are being decommissioned. So that's like a challenge as well. Like get adopting to all these might be an issue with companies. DevSecOps, and automation also is a challenge in the cloud, because not everyone is using old CI/CD pipeline tools, which is not compatible with cloud technologies now. This one, privilege key management. Yeah, again, we'll discuss this, the cloud security key management, and we'll talk about how privilege key management happens. It's like important. Yeah. Complex environment. Yeah, so cloud environment is complex. That's why it's like challenging to like it becomes a challenge to secure the entire environment. Uh, so yeah, again, cloud compliance like PCI 3.2 is a compliance requirement for the cloud. NIST 853 is also there, and HIPAA and GDPR. They need to all the leading cloud service provider have aligned themselves with most of the well-known accreditation. However, customers are responsible for ensuring that their workload and data processes are compliant as well. Okay. Now, what are the solutions? What were the what are the components which we need to keep in place to secure your cloud? Okay, we'll discuss from here how to overcome the cloud security challenges. Okay, from here we'll be taking it in the next class, because I think I have like it. This was an intense session. There's too much to grasp, and I'll give you time to actually learn, and I'll create an assignment here to take you through the basic concepts. Till here, we were just discussing what are the challenges of the cloud, why security in cloud is necessary, what is type of cloud, who are the major cloud service providers. We discussed all those. Okay, these are the basics of cloud computing. We'll be seeing on how to secure the cloud tomorrow. Okay, and as it comes, we might see other things in cloud as well, which will help you gain more knowledge on cloud computing and in the exam as well. Okay, questions? No one has questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Did you guys understand anything at all?
Yes, sir.
Only you, Hemant.
50 to 60%.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Rohit. Okay. So what we'll do now? 50 to 60% is, I think, good number. Okay, but to make your knowledge stronger, I am creating an assignment. Leave other assignments and do this one first. Okay, I want you guys to have knowledge on cloud before you appear for any interview, because anyone will expect you should know what cloud is and everything. Okay? So I want you to grasp those concepts really well. So for that, I'll be creating an assignment. You will have to do that first. Okay.
Yes, Rahul. Rahul, just
Okay, sir.
don't
Thank
log the assignment as we in Sharpener, we have to complete first this first assigned
Okay.
assignments.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I'll give the due date in 21 months. Okay. I'll change the due date for the older assignments as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day, guys. Okay. Cloud is very important. Securing the cloud, again, important. But if you want a cloud security job, you just need to have the concept of cloud first. Okay. So you need to know this, and it will look really good on your resume having cloud security knowledge. Okay. Everyone is looking for the new technologies to people should have new technologies. Security, many people can know, but securing the cloud, not many know now. Okay.
Sir,
So
when will the next class? Tomorrow?
yeah, let's take it tomorrow only. Okay. Anyway, I think
Sir,
only 5 to 6 people are joining, so I don't think it will be a problem. We'll cover everything fast by next two classes and close it. Okay.
Yes. Sure,
okay,
Rahul.
sir.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night,
Thank you,
Rahul.
sir.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you,
night.
sir.